Wow, this is the 1000th video. Definitely came a long way. I just want to give a quick shout out to J Law for showing nothing but love, allowing himself to be the first reaction I ever did. He also introduced me to a couple great artists, including B-Face Small and Thor Angelico. J Law and Thor Angelico are definitely great people. They keep me going. Wow. I never thought doing reactions would have this much of an impact. I never thought I'd get shout outs and rap lyrics or my reactions would be put into videos. That's crazy. For that, I want to give a quick shout out to Poetic Mind. Thank you for the shout out and take notes again. Also, I want to give a shout out to Blindsight, that love for our reactors. The video really came out at a good time. Definitely came out perfect time for me. As some of you know, my computer hardware had that issue where it fried and all that. Also, a few rappers were talking shit on a podcast. Palmer Squares, fuck them. But that's not the point. The love for our react. I felt like quitting, but the love for our reactors kept me going. I also want to give a quick shout out to Duncan Raps. Oh my gosh. Duncan Raps is so amazing. He's so talented. Duncan Raps. Go check out his Godzilla remix. I appreciate the shout out in the video. It was awesome. I also want to give a shout out to Nefarious. Thank you. Go check out his one day video. My reaction got put in the music video. It's awesome. In reality, I want to give a shout out to the whole asylum. I want to give a shout out to Maniac, Layman, Trippy J, Nefarious again, Reaper, Nazo. I want to give a shout out to Jekyll. I want to give a shout out to Casual Cheater. I want to give a shout out to Downtown and Gemini Genesis. Radio Kill the Hip Hop Star. RKT HHS. Be on the lookout for their Volume 2 coming soon. Also, Gemini Genesis has a new song called No Gimmicks coming out soon. Be on the lookout for that too. Also, I want to give a shout out to Good Rap Music 101, Shallowland Slum, and Lucifer Grime. Keep the requests coming. I appreciate it. Thank you. I also want to give a shout out to Mighty, That Kid Cry, Rizzle Music. I also want to give a shout out to DK Rap Artist. I also want to give a shout out to Jackson Pierce. Oh my gosh, Jackson Pierce has been sending me snippets of songs every day as he's working on them. His grind is crazy. Go follow Jackson Pierce. For real. He's got lots of great music coming. Also, I want to give a shout out to Reflect. I also want to give a shout out to Skyline. I also want to give a shout out to 100% Beef. I also want to give a shout out to M80. I also want to give a shout out to Tiller. I also want to give a shout out to NK47. AK-47 is so awesome. Go check out his music. Alright. I got this list of subscribers. I know it's probably not accurate. If I don't shout you out at all in this video, I'm sorry. I'm a jerk. go ahead and leave a dislike. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. I'm only human. So I'm gonna give a shout out to every subscriber that's on here, that's on this list. I want to give a shout out to Blueface Sharpie, The Pointed. You guys have been subscribed for 5 years. 5 years. I hadn't even think about doing reactions yet. I want to give a shout out to 2till legit 100. You've been subscribed for 2 years. I still haven't been doing reactions yet. I want to give a shout out to Domo Sloth Music. You've been subscribed for 1 year. I still hadn't been doing reactions. Shout out to J-Law again. Shout out to Duncan Raps again. Shout out to Walker HD. Shout out to Caroline Howell. Shout out to Torches Music. Shout out to Slick Toast. Shout out to Carrington Soul. I remember you guys from Cakes Mitchell's live streams. Cakes Mitchell was awesome too. He introduced me into Nick D. Also, shout out to Adams Avenue. He introduced me into Foe. Also, shout out to Rob Reborn. He introduced me into Breezy Thou Real. Shout out to Pyrax. Shout out to YRN_ODI. Shout out to Warrior 122. Shout out to John Cocaine WWE Universal Mode. Shout out to That Kid Cry Again. Shout out to Josiah Christopher. Shout out to Amanda Hotchkiss. I know she's a big NK47. And shout out to Serious Eye fan. Shout out to Josh Kuhn. Oh my gosh. Josh is subscribed. This is awesome. Josh was the person who actually introduced me into Hopsin and Tech Nine's music back when I was like a junior or senior in high school. Without Josh Kuhn, I probably wouldn't know about most of these independent artists that I know about, because obviously from hearing Hopsin and Tech Nine, it grew from like features and openers at shows and stuff like that. Shout out to Problematic. Shout out to Sully4Q. Shout out to Jordan Regal. Shout out to OGZ Breezy and the Queen C. Shout out to Odell's Martinez. Shout out to Bo Diz. Shout out to Billy Ray Pro. Shout out Don't Snitch Media. Shout out Peyton Stover. Shout out Damian Hendricks. Shout out Jeremy Albertson. Shout out to Breeza Waldez. Shout out to Jaden Horn. Shout out to Mark B1181. Shout out to Bon Bun Bunny. Shout out to Holland Charlatan. Shout out to Unt. Shout out to Jay Lively. Shout out to Ayumi Cook. Shout out to Dominic Dilg. Shout out to Brian Trila. Shout out the Dead Cast Collector. Shout out to Bobby BT. Shout out to Lyric Lee 1984. Shout out to DK Rap Artist. Shout out to Jay Wyatt. Shout out to Eric Ness. Shout out to Diana Foreign. Shout out to Cherai Harper. Shout out to Elijah Kyle. Shout out to King Blitz. Shout out to Presto Ernesto. I see you commenting on my videos all the time. Thank you. Shout out Don Galley. Shout out Nomi Pamecht. Shout out Bobby Joe Denham. Shout out RXBLXX. Shout out SS underscore. Shout out My Team Studio. Shout out Hellbilly Reacts. Shout out Corey Lorenzo. Shout out Lystra. Shout out TSS Dreams. Shout out Unknown. Shout out Patty. Shout out Jake Sushi. Shout out That Kid Cry Again. Shout out in some exit MR. Shout out Ninja Killzoo. I think that's Dylan from high school. Shout out Igor Ryuz. I'm sorry, I'm horrible. Apparently, it's speaking right now. Shout out Chad and Careless. Shout out Ben Troy Music. Shout out Nathan Durant. Shout out Brianna Janae. Shout out Alabaster Red. Shout out Justin May the rapper. Shout out hashtag Hades, hashtag Underworld Entertainment. Shout out James Bohanna. Shout out Malcolm Henderson. Shout out James the Flame. Shout out Dilloman _8. Shout out Maria White. Shout out oh my gosh. Says sure Omar you Taylor. Sorry. Shout out Holly. Hashtag Fire Squad. Hashtag Asylum Lombard. Shout out Chicken Dinner. Shout out Certified G Abel. Shout out Jack Eugene. Shout out Alex Ramirez. Shout out Mythic Music. Shout out Ronald Lacey. Shout out Aggressive Bagel. Shout out Togo is a Wafu. Shout out Video Gamer 937. Shout out Dominic Louisi. Domestic Louisi? I don't know. Shout out Jaws Flores. Shout out River City Music. Shout out Mighty again. Shout out Carson the rapper. Shout out The Real Gaming Export. Shout out Breezy the Real. Shout out Alex Wooton. Shout out Devo the Emervert. Shout out Jonathan Talent. Shout out Mr. L. Shout out Ground Up Studios. That Kid Cry. Rizzle Music. Imposter. Shout out Cryptic. Shout out Beyond Human. Shout out Emily Elkins. Shout out Corey Tuntun. Shout out Casual Cheater again. Shout out Chris Mick into 2. I know he's a big Downtown and Gemini Genesis fan. Shout out Benjamin Hunter. Shout out Gal and Rhyme. Shout out Captain Race 15. Shout out Wizzle Reacts. Shout out TT. Shout out Manchester All Day. Shout out 4 Shakar. Shout out Neo Alpha Omega. Shout out Ronan Vindicator. Shout out Brent Kelly. Shout out Austin Ashby. Shout out Home of Football. Shout out Mar S Earth. Mars effort. Mar S Earth. Mars Earth. Shout out Nick Pink Bro 1. Shout out Karma. Shout out Pound Sickening. Shout out Flores Dubry. Shout out Dark Spark 24. Shout out Loprex Rocks Argentino subtitles. Shout out Kining Kai. Shout out Foe. Shout out Adam Zevenu, who introduced me into Foe's music. Shout out to Kate Mitchells for introducing me into Nick D's music. Shout out to Machino T. Shout out to Ram Swarming S. Shout out to Damage Season. Shout out to James Phillips. Shout out to J-Law again. Go check out his reaction channel, My World Reacts. Shout out Mary Small. Shout out Boston NBK Mendez. Shout out White Rashod. Shout out It's a Rapio. Shout out Jonathan Hammer. Shout out Reflective again. Shout out Stan D. Bruh Idjin. Shout out Mike7272. Now I'm sorry if I forgot to shout you out. I'm sorry. I appreciate you though. Until next time. Peace! Also want to give a shout out to Hollow. Also want to give a shout out to WeScheme. Also want to give a shout out to Fond. Also want to give a shout out to 10K. Also want to give a shout out to Vinjay. Also want to give a shout out to WeScheme. Also want to give a shout out to Contagious. Also want to give a shout out to Dougie. Also want to give a shout out to Dobie Dope. Also want to give a shout out to Twistello. Sorry, Wiggle Reacts. I didn't mean to call you Wizzle Reacts. Also, be out on the lookout for Angelico and Karma's new song, Casualty, coming out on March 10th. Until next time, peace.